On today's episode of the Command Center podcast, who's got it better than us? Nobody.
And we got some Jayden mania.
And we preview the Cleveland Browns with Santana Moss's favorite segment, Hell Yeah or
Hell No.
It all starts right now. Welcome to the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulsen here with Fred Smoot and Santana Moss. And guys, who's got it better than us? Nobody, man. We got some really exciting things happening on the offensive side of the football, specifically regarding Jayden Daniels. And I think fans are excited, and should they be excited?
Everybody's excited. Come on, we haven't been here. This is uncharted territory. We haven't been here. Like, the fan base should be beyond excited. But just through my radio show and talking back and forth with the fans, it's like they scared to celebrate, Tanner. They scared to say, you know what, we here, we have arrived.
I think we have a reason to kind of pump our brakes at times because we are players. We understand that it's a long season. This is the first quarter. We want to be 500 or better in the first quarter, but we understand there's other quarters we have to go through. And when I say quarters, you know, as football players, we understand, if you understand, we have 17 games now. But back when we played, it was 16, and it was four quarters. So, you know, we look at it like that and say, man, look, we was talking about this when we first got our schedule. Hopefully we're 2-2 or 3-1 going out of those first 4 games. We here, we arrive. Have we been excited from the play? Yes. Have many reasons to say, man, these guys are going out there playing the kind of football that we expected. But it's a long season. Allow them to continue to, you know, get, you know, I guess you can say, taught what these coaches are trying to teach them. And then if by the time we get past 8 games and we still sitting pretty, hey, boy, start planning that postseason, all your flights and taking off from your job and taking kids out of school. Then we can start, you know, talking about that. But I think they have a reason to be excited. But as players, we're going to always sit here and say, hey, you know, we're happy, but we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Do you think we have a leg up right now because of what I said like months ago, the unpredictability of the offensive play calling? New coach, new offensive coordinator, don't really got a bead on what we want to do and how we want to do it. Do you think that's giving us a leg up?
I think it gives anybody a leg up, but you still got to go out there and play ball. You know what I mean? You still have to look. We've seen plenty of new staffs get together, and it don't look like this. You know, and I think when you look at it, it's a lot of stuff going for us. I think the culture. I think the culture has been set. You can see how they play. They play how our coach speaks. You know what I mean? One of the things about Dan Quinn, I loved all the years of playing against him and watching him, is, you know, they move to his beat. You know what I mean? The way he came in here and said the kind of players he want, I can look at player. I can go down the line and say, yep, that's a Dan Quinn.
They are the same.
It's a Dan Quinn player. Look, we have guys here that we wanted to be around here still. They're not here. They're still good players. They're just not their players. So the culture stands out more than just it's new and people can't get a bead on it. Put a bead on it. But I feel like also being that some of the times when you have a new offense and you have young guys, because we've been here with this same type of far as offense and a new star at quarterback, you have to give him time to really say, is this a first year, you know what I mean, fluke, or is it going to be something that you can? I look at it as, man, he's a young guy, and I've seen every game so far that I've watched him play. He's gotten better from something that that he made a mistake on. To me, I don't think none of this stuff is a fluke. I think he's a kid that's been well groomed in this game. And he's ready to play football, and he's showing it every week.
The thing I keep coming back to with this is, like, he has the highest completion percentage in a 4-game span ever.
Of all time.
Ever. So, like, you're talking Jayden Daniels is, what is he? He's 82.1, right? Number 2, Peyton Manning, 81.8. Number 3, Drew Brees. Number 4, Tom Brady. Number 5, Kurt Warner. Those dudes are
goat milk.
They're all in the Hall of Fame. What'd you call them? You called them the Yellow Jacket?
The Yellow Jacket crew.
The Yellow Jacket crew, man. Like, they are impressive. So, for me, it's like, I keep coming back. Like, I'm excited. Jayden Daniels is playing excellent football. It's like, can you sustain that level of efficiency? It seems like it's going to normalize at some point. But, like, to what Tana said, like, he's getting better at, like, managing the game. And, like, I think when you look at the Arizona game specifically, like, even if his efficiency comes down a little bit, which I'm expecting it to.
Yeah.
Like, I think the types of throws we've seen, like that out to Terry where he's kind of laying it over that hook player in front of that cover 3 corner, like that's a big time throw. The throw to Luke McCaffrey where he's like ripping it in there, right? The throw to Terry on the touchdown. Those are throws we haven't seen before, and it makes me think he's improving even if his efficiency comes down. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, like, I'm excited. I think he's got it, but like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. Like,
he does the regular things at a high clip.
Yeah.
All right, the medium things, the things that everybody can't see. Like Caleb Williams right now is not filling the pocket the way it is, and he's not doing the regular things at a high level. Like, I'm not saying this guy's just all his special throws are special, but I'm saying be special on routine things, and that's what I think he is doing. So I think sky's the limit because he does them things at such a high clip. They will always be available for him.
And then you have great coaching. I think you know we can sit here and rant and rave about how special Jayden is, how special our offensive line have been playing, but all that goes back to the coach who's coaching them, and that's Cliff Kingsbury. I think Cliff, you got to give, you got to tip your hat off to him. Just seeing some of the things that I've seen, it's like, how like when you go into a game and you say, it's a copycat league. We've seen this week after week after week. From my defensive standpoint, every team took what Tampa did and killed us with and been trying to do it. They come and they bring it in that bunch. They bringing in guys close. They trying to get those crosses. They trying to get us to say, see if we're going to communicate in the second. You always talk about communicating, seeing if we're going to box it, seeing if we're going to allow that shot across to be picked up by somebody else on the other side. Teams are hitting us with that every week, and I'm watching them like, they learn. And they growing. Offensively for us, it's the same thing. Team saying this is what they going to do, so we're going to throw this at them. And then they say, oh, no, we're not throwing that at them because they ready. They ready for your punch. They not finna be fooled by that Hawaiian punch guy asking you, do you want a Hawaiian punch? So that's what I love about what's going on because, one, yes, you have a kid that's playing at a high level fast early in his career as a rookie, but you have a coach that been here, done that, and understand where he went right at and where he was wrong at when he did it the last time. So I think Cliff got to get a lot of love too.
The way he digests what he's seeing is special to me. Like digesting it, processing it, get the ball out. That's the biggest thing for a rookie quarterback. Like I could always tell when a quarterback ain't processing what he's seeing. Our guy is processing what he's seeing. He's taking what the defense is giving him, and that's the biggest lesson for a rookie quarterback. Don't try to be a hero. Throw the ball where the defense is giving it up at.
Yeah, but I think that's like this is where it's like really. I think this is really like an interesting football conversation. Because what Tana's saying is it's the coaching, and you're saying, oh, it's the player, but I do think it's symbiotic, right? They work
it
together.
Is both.
They hold hands. They go hand in hand, right? And I think when you look at the Arizona game, it's a perfect example of what you're talking about, Tana. It's like Cliff has done a really good job of being committed to running the football. So we're running, 30 runs in a game, 20, 25 runs, whatever it is. Then in terms of passes, drop back passes, there's these opportunities where, hey, we're going to run quick game. And Jayden Daniels has been excellent at quick game. Like we talked about it yesterday on the Command Center show, like his ability to get the ball, like to accelerate his feet and get the ball out of his hands quickly is almost a cheat code. On like those little sticks, those are your 5-yard outs, those little sit routes, things like that. And so those are like maybe 10 of your throws a game. And then you've got keepers and boots, and those are traditionally very low leverage throws because it's not a complicated read.
And you got to get it out on time.
You mitigate the protections, right? Because you're moving the pocket, you're changing the launch angle. And so all of a sudden, in a game where he's dropping back to throw 35 times, he's got 7 quick game. He's got 7 play action keepers. He's got 5 where he scrambles. And then when you get into the nitty gritty of it, it's like you got 10 that are like hard. And I look at other offenses around the league and I'm like, these other quarterbacks, they're leveraged way more acutely than that. And so I think that's something that's important for fans to understand. And it's important to kind of keep that in perspective is it's like they're working together. It's not like this guy gets the credit and this guy gets the credit. It's like they're hand in hand. And again, I look back at, we talked about this yesterday too, the offense, they don't get in bad down and distance.
No, never. They're always ahead of sticks.
They're always ahead of sticks. I think in the last game there was 3 3rd and 10s in the whole game. And then against Cincinnati, there was 3. And then if you look at the first 2 games, you know how many there were? There were 16. Right? Wow. So it's way up. So obviously they're becoming more efficient because Jayden knows when to scramble like you're talking about. Cliff's calling a good game and just elevating the entire offense. And And I think that's hard for fans. It's hard for people in general to
process.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But like you've been a part of staffs and teams where it's like this guy's a beast. You know what I'm saying? So like in terms of future and development, like where's the road for Jayden?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that, because that's the thing. It's like right now he's this. It's like we're kind of in I don't want to say a simpler version of an offense, but like seeing some of those throws versus Cincinnati, seeing some of those throws versus Arizona, I'm like, he's got the ability to do more.
They're layering it every game. Yeah. They're adding a little bit more to the plate every game. Yeah. So where is he headed? To me, he's a dual threat right now. Yeah. I can beat you with my feet, I can beat you with my arm. Where he's headed is a triple threat. I beat you with my feet, I beat you with my arm, and now I run outside the pocket to pass the ball like Patrick Mahomes. Now you become a three-headed monster that we on defense have no answer for.
Yeah. I think too, when you look at it, the sky's the limit. I think when you think about it, when you look at certain offenses in this league that's efficient and that's having success, and let's throw out there Cincinnati, because I love what I saw in Joe Burrow. Like,
he's a beast,
at the time, like Joe Burrow showed me the other day that he has complete control of what's going on. If you show me something, I'm gonna make you not do that to me again. You feel me?
I believe it.
And so I look at the potential of what we have with Jayden. Yeah. It's on that level. Yeah. I feel like he has. A guy broke down the first throw to Terry on the left side of the field in the Cincinnati game when he got a little pressure. Jayden backed out of there and threw it up. Yeah. And it went out of bounds. And so they say, well, the defense said, okay, when I show zero, this is what he's gonna do. They showed zero again. This time Terry's on the right side. Yeah. And this time he stood in the paint. Yeah. And so, you know what? Last time I backed out of there too far and I overthrew him. I threw out of bounds. Now I'm going to stand here, take this hit, and I'm going to throw it early so it can give him a chance to get under it. To me, see, that one little clip I saw from that dude break that down showed me what we're talking about. He's learning on the job. It's not taking him 5 games to understand that. Yeah. I've been around here where we be like, throw the ball to him. Yeah. He's open. He's your read. I've been in those meetings and I'm hot because I'm the guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what it's like to be a receiver and not get the look from a guy. And I'm not talking about a young guy. I'm talking about a guy been here for 7 years. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm seeing a kid do that, the sky's the limit. Because if I see Joe Burrow being able to say, hey, I'm going to take that shot. We saw it early in the preseason. He took a shot when coach didn't call the play. Yeah. So if he's showing me that early, that's where he's heading. Well, that's when they're going to allow him to do eventually.
That's what 50 college football games does. Like, he done seen pretty much everything you can see from a college perspective. Right?
But then you look at Joe Nix, right? Yeah. Bo Nix. Bo Nix. Yeah, like, and he's got the most starts in college football
1,000.
history. And he's struggling too, but
it goes back to the coaching.
How
much they putting on Bo Nix' plate.
Like everything.
See what I'm saying?
Everything.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the thing, like to Tana's point, like obviously he's got the highest completion percentage of anybody ever through for the first 4 games, right? And you're talking about Tom Brady, Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, the other guys on that list. Yeah. But the thing, that's exciting. That's really awesome because it shows his efficiency. But the thing that gets me really juiced, to Tana's point, is every week he's gotten better. And the percentage, the completion percentage is up and down, right? Yeah. You know, obviously it's going to happen. Obviously it's almost perfect.
That's the game. Yeah.
It's almost perfect for Cincinnati.
Perfect all the time.
But in terms of throws, in terms of how you're handling stuff, week 1, we're getting heated up by Todd Bowles. We look a little unsettled. We're not sitting in the pocket. We're getting out there. We're doing stuff.
First game.
And then first half of the Giants game, what was it, right? Yeah. It was a little kind of, and then all of a sudden we start settling in. Cincinnati, we're balling. Yeah. Arizona, man, we got 0. We didn't even blink. We're throwing the now to Terry. Yeah. And then we already talked about those kind of those high leverage throws. Yeah. And then the decision making, when to scramble, when not to scramble. Yeah. He's getting better each and every week. And so I think that's the thing that gives me the most optimism. Like I might sound like a hater. There's gonna be a regression in completion percentage. Yeah. Like you cannot play.
No, you can't play at this high level the whole time.
But if he shows the ability, to Fred's point, of being able to do the easy things, like we talked about this, like with Robert Griffin. Yeah. Like he was a big play, shot down the field guy.
Big play ball.
There's so much variance there. Yep. You can't sustain an offense that way.
No, because he ain't doing the middle right.
I don't even want to see us sustain that, because I understand there's going to be a letdown somewhere. So I'd rather see them, just like going into the last week game. Everybody was talking ad nauseum all week long about a turnover. Bro, like, stop putting it out there. It's going to happen. But guess what? The turnover happened. And what he did.
Went out there and learned from it.
All right, I got you. You got me once, but I ain't going to do it again. And that's all we saying right now. All three of us are saying the same thing. We understand there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. But if you show me that you can stay in the middle between all those and still come out on top every time, even after you failed, that's what we want to see. That's how you be a good team, and that's how you build around a quarterback, because you know that this guy's not going to blink even when he makes the worst decision or mistake.
And we talked about the highest completion percentages ever, right? And we were talking about the Peyton Mannings, the Drew Brees, the Kurt Warner, the Tom Brady, right? They were not hunting big plays, but what they were is they were crazy efficient in like on the 10-yard out, on the throw over the middle of the field. They could operate that, and I think you're starting to see him grow into that a little bit, right? And Cliff's done a good job, like you said, of bringing him along. And so I think that's the thing that gets me excited is there's other guys when you watch other rookie quarterbacks around the league and other even veteran quarterbacks that have a hard time doing that. And he's shown an ability to get that done. And that means to me this is going to be more sustainable long term. And then I think the other thing is sometimes when it's not perfect, his ability to scramble
and make it perfect
and get you to 3rd and 4. Like get you to 3rd and 4. It just helps you out a ton.
If you really watch, go ahead, Fred.
No. It's 2 routes that us corners hate. We call them backbreakers. And if quarterbacks continually complete these 2 routes on us, we consider it almost unstoppable. And that's a out route in between 5 and 10 yards and a comeback. If a quarterback continues to do that, you notice I didn't say the go route. I didn't say the post. Them 2 routes keep drives going. Like drives.
See, I've been here before, and I had to get this out there. I've been around quarterbacks like a Jayden Daniels. I had one in college. I had one in high school. And then I had a few in the league. You know what I mean? They wasn't the same, you know, when it comes to just, you know,
raw talent.
Being able to, you know, have that precision and being decisive like him. But I'm saying this because eventually the receiver's going to know, like, when he break the pocket, he's so accurate, he's going to hit me if I find a way to get open. And now you're going to get guys out there about to kill themselves to make sure I get in the window, knowing that he's going to give me opportunity. And eventually now you're talking about bigger plays, more advances, like balls down the field,
intermediate route, third route.
He can layer so many different ways. He can throw the ball so many different ways, man, that like I bring up the play from last week when he broke the pocket, and I'm like, okay, it's no way he gonna get this to this running back. Running backs normally don't catch the ball when a quarterback on the run throwing the ball. But he gave him a chance. It wasn't bad. It wasn't behind me. It wasn't too far in front of me. It was here. Guess what? The guy on my back, but the ball is here. I got no choice but to bear hug it. You see what I'm saying? And take the hit. When you seeing that, you like, bro, this guy's gonna give you an opportunity. So guess what? I'm gonna get open. I'm gonna find a way to get open.
He throwing the spots, not people.
And I think the other thing you mentioned, like the running backs, the receivers, is we talked about Cliff's involvement, we talked about Jayden's involvement making plays, but it really is like our producer Jason did a really good job of finding this stat. So most points per drive, first 4 games of the season since 2000, right? Green Bay Packers, 3.67. The Washington Commanders are the next team on that list.
What?
Kansas City Chiefs, 2021, they were balling, right? And then the New England Patriots in 2007.
Blew everybody out.
And I don't care how good your quarterback is. I don't care how good your offensive coordinator is. Everybody on the team needs to be making plays.
Contribute to that.
And so, like, when I look at B-Rob, I think, is a great example. B-Rob in the O-line, just as a one like case study. Like, their ability to stay on schedule with positive runs is huge, right? McNichols, right? Like the first touchdown that he scores, like Arizona plays that pretty good, right? But he does a great job bouncing it outside, making a guy miss, and getting in the end zone.
And refuse to get.
And so I think when you watch the film, the thing you come away with is Jayden's making a lot of plays, but guys are also making plays for him in a way that, like, you can't have this number
without them,
without everybody working together. And that's why this is also such a special thing to watch of the last 2 games specifically, is it's Jayden, right? It's Cliff, but then it's like, for example, like there was a third down where they're throwing a ball to Noah Brown, you know, and Jayden makes a good play, but Noah makes the play for him, right? Or Terry makes the play on the out. Like, it's everybody working together, and it's so hard to kind of say, like, it's these.
Quantify who to get a credit to.
It goes back to what I say, the coaching.
Yeah.
That's who they have the guys in here.
It's not just the OC. It's everybody.
Everybody. That's what I'm saying. The culture that they have built right here has shown you this is how we playing.
Yeah.
Offensively, defensively, and special teams. We got the players in here that's going to never quit and that's going to always try to find a way to win their down.
Yep.
And every man is out there winning their down.
Brandon Coleman is ranked one of the highest offensive linemen per snap right now.
Yeah.
Haven't gave up a pressure, haven't gave up a sack. Like, these are I know Jay numbers are incredible, the offense as a whole, but once you start to individually go to these guys' numbers, like, wow, I had no idea this dude was
We were sitting there talking a sewing our mouth about how Terry should get more involved. It's happening. Yeah. Give it time. Like, it's going to happen. That's why I say you can't force anything in life. You can't force it. When you press, that's when things go bad. Yeah. When you allow it to mature, when you allow it to mature, and when you allow it to, I guess you can say, flow your way. Like I used to always say, let the game flow to me. Like I hated going to the game like, coach, like we got to get you the ball. No, coach, let it flow. Man, don't try to force nothing.
Let the defense tell
these guys they're going to come out here looking for me to do it, so that I'm not going to get the matchup that I want out the gate. Just allow it to happen.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Chicago, like Alshon Jeffrey was our guy. He was a dog, and he was hurt. And our offense went from okay to pretty effective. Like we were throwing for close to 300 yards a game. We were rushing for 95 to 100. Like we were being very, very effective. He comes back, and I remember the OC being like, "Oh, we got to make sure Alshon gets his touches." And I was like, "Well, we're just talking at lunch one time," and he was, probably 12, 15 touches I think is appropriate. And the problem was that it stymied the offense.
It threw it out.
It stunted the offense because unless that dude is just like an absolute stud and
Calvin Johnson,
I like winning one-on-ones, but because what happens is let's say Alshon doesn't win on the slant, the quarterback double clutches, take a sack, it's 2nd and 15, and I feel like that's one thing that I give credit, a lot of credit to this offense, to Cliff, the whole staff, is it's like, hey man, it's gonna come.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
We're not gonna force it to certain guys, and I think it's been super effective. But so I think all in all, right? I think just to kind of wrap it up, Jayden's doing an exceptional job.
Yeah, exceptional.
Cliff's doing an exceptional job.
Yeah, everybody.
The offense as a whole is doing an exceptional job. And so I think that's what to give it context, it's not, you can't give it to one person. Mm-hmm. It's all 11.
Everybody's playing on a high level.
And it's not even all 11 to Tana's point. It's the backups are doing well. Yeah. The run game, I mentioned this the other day too, the run game, they ran 4 new runs that they've never run before in this game.
Yeah.
So Anthony Lynn's in his bag. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The quarterback coach is doing a great job. Yeah. You mentioned the O-line coach with Brandon. It's not just the 11. It's the whole organization's doing a great job, and it's just a lot of fun to see.
They're coming together like the Avengers. They're coming together when we need them, when the earth need them to come together. Yeah. And that's the thing. They are on the same way. You can always tell when a team is, we all here. Yeah. We understand the mission. Yeah. We understand where we're trying to go, and we understand the route to get there.
Yeah. And I guess my question, and we'll talk about this more in the Cleveland preview, is, and you've already alluded to this, Tana, and you did such a nice job of it, but it's not, is it sustainable versus better groups?
I think it is. I think one of the things that I want to see, which I kind of seen a little glimpse of it, is, do you know how to, handle success? You know what I mean? We've having success. Everybody and their mama want to talk about you right now. Yeah. And I think from every guy in this building, and that's in those classrooms, it's no other coach that I would want them to be under at a time like this than Dan Quinn. Yeah. Because I feel like he understands.
We've done nothing.
How to check his guys, how to have them. He understands we ain't done nothing. And I haven't been in one of those meetings, but I promise you, you've been coached by him. Yeah. I promise you, he's probably telling them, "Hey guys, we ain't do nothing yet.
We ain't did nothing.
If you happy about this, and this is the only time, this is the only stuff you've ever experienced in life, man. You got a long life to live. It's gonna be more roses."
He done told them we ain't played the complete game yet.
Bingo.
We ain't played the complete game yet.
I want to see these guys enjoy this. Yeah. Hey, it feels good.
Basking.
I would never tell you to want to feel how you've been feeling the last 4 or 5 years here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For those guys who've been here since then. Yeah. But understand, with all that's being done out there now and all the hooting and hollering about you, I need you to go out here and hit it harder and on the field, in the classroom, and even when you go home. Yeah. Change everything you're doing to make sure that you can sustain it. You're going to ask me, can you sustain it? I say but it's up to them.
Yep. Yeah, and I think, to kind of put a bow on that, in his post-game presser, or post game interview that we do with Bram on for the show.
Yeah.
He was like, Bram was like, man, this is really exciting. This is a great opportunity. Like, can you keep it going? And he was like, that's for you guys to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, that's the roller coaster. We're not riding the roller coaster. Right?
Drain the Kool-Aid.
We're doing what we got to do. And Tana, like, you told me this off air, like, one of the reasons you were so successful is you were just like, every day, every game, good or bad, was the same. And that's the vibe I'm getting from Dan. It's the vibe I'm getting from Jayden. And that's another reason why, like, he's performing well. But I feel like mentally, that dude is locked in a special way.
Yeah.
And I think all of those things allow me to believe that this is sustainable.
I think it is too.
And I can't wait to see what the rest of the season looks like. So we were getting ready to talk about the defense, right? Reviewing that game.
Show us some love.
And a couple guys just stuck out to me. I'm just going to name some names.
Yeah.
Daron Payne, John Allen, Jazon Newton, Jeremy Chin, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner.
Who had the most sacks in this game? Because you're forgetting him.
Dorrance Armstrong.
Thank you.
And then our guy, I thought St. Juice played a solid game.
I thought Chin played a hell of a game.
I said him already. But
and Emmanuel Forbes. Give him some props.
And Benogany, I thought, was pretty solid. I mean, obviously, there's still some issues in terms of fit and runs.
How you pronounce Igbenogany name again?
You're gonna mess. Don't you say it.
I want
Noah Igbenogany.
Igbenogany. That's what I said.
Okay, all right.
Did I not?
Because sometimes you say it and it like messes me up.
I know I remember one. I tear it up every time. Igbenogany. Okay.
Igbenogany. No. I have it. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. But yeah, so I thought much more consistent from an effort standpoint, much more consistent from a rule standpoint.
And a communication standpoint. This communication is everything on defense, and I saw these guys communicating early and often. And that's what you want to do. I want to communicate early so I can get that other guy a chance to figure out his game plan. And I saw these guys, and I'm talking about, see, it's a different than running across the line of scrimmage and, zone it up. No, loud. I want to be talking loud. I want the people in the stands to hear. That's when I said, they're starting to settle down. Because now they're communicating.
I think you can honestly see the coaching starting to take play a part into there. Because I mean, we saw all last year. We used to be like how we keep doing the same thing.
They don't do the same thing.
And now you see corrections. Every week I've seen a similar formation from the opposing offense, and I've seen us play it differently and have success by defending it. So that's coaching. Coaching comes in playing a part. Joe Witt and his staff, man, doing a great job. And those players, man, hats off to the players because, like you said, St. Juice, we've been talking about him ad nauseum at times, and he's playing with something up his, hey, someone lying over here.
Physical, aggressive, playing with good technique. And that's something we always used to talk about. It's like last year I felt like I'd watch him like, he has no tools. There's no plan. But you can tell the coaches have been, hey, man, take away the inside, take away the slant. We're okay with the comeback.
If you give him that, and that's what good corners understand. It's a give and it's a take. It is no play where I can cover the whole route tree. It's no, and that's what most young corners, because in college, you're just better than that dude. It ain't like that in the league. You got to give some, you got to take some away, but you got to understand why you're doing that.
Yeah, I think you definitely see that with everybody. Noah Igbenogany also, same thing. Forbes, I thought, had a really nice run fit. Jeremy Chin looked like a dude.
Bro, you know where Jeremy hit him at?
Yeah,
he looked like he hit him right there.
And he looked like he got out in one of those things where they create players or something.
Dude, sweet chin music.
He walking around, all you see is biceps.
I'm
saying that boy breaking them.
He's physical, but the identity of any great defense is the linebackers. That's the identity of it.
Dude, and
got too good.
Tana, you were talking about Frankie Louvu. They're different stylistically. Like Frankie Louvu kind of reminds me of like a Tasmanian devil a little bit.
I was just thinking the same exact
Like you just throw him out there and he's like, I got you.
Let him go.
He blowing it up every time.
And then Bobby Wagner,
you got Bobby, he
more like Cobra Commander where he gonna figure out mentally what you gonna do.
He just appeared. You remember that movie with Adam Sandler? And I think I don't know if he got rich or he.
Oh yeah. He had a butler that would like.
The butler just appeared everywhere. Can I help you? Bobby Wagner just showed up on the tackle. Bobby Wagner on the tackle. I'm like, how you got over there. Like, where did he come from? He just in the backfield.
Nah, he just pops up. I heard y'all were playing football over here.
Mr. Deeds.
Mr.
Deeds. Man, I was.
You dug deep for that.
Yeah, I was all my whole brain was just working through that.
I couldn't have thought of that if you gave me a couple of dollars to do so.
Yeah, so really thought those guys played well. Jeremy, again, like one of my favorite plays of this game, Quan Martin, same thing. It was a 3rd and 9. They're playing quarters. They check the ball down to the back, and those two dudes look like wolves, man. Yeah. They're coming downhill, closing the gap. Physical tackle, stops them. It was a big gain, but 4th and 1. Next play is the sack, and that's the kind of thing that you're getting from this defense. Is like they're fighting for every blade of grass. You know, John Allen running out of the stack, tackling receivers, getting guys in pursuit. And again, is it perfect?
Nothing is.
No, but they've gotten better. To Tana's point,
one thing, whoever made that Instagram post last week about John Allen, he saw it. He saw it because he came this week, boy.
Yeah, ready to go.
He was somebody else.
Ready to go.
I said, somebody ticked him off.
Man, it happens, man. Whatever cranks the car up.
Yeah.
Whatever cranks the car up.
And so I definitely think like that. It was nice to see them play better. They still need to again clean up some of the run fit stuff.
They're gonna get better as they play more.
But I do think they had a plan. They executed. We saw the pass rush. We saw how the pass rush could insulate the coverage units.
Yeah.
And so really good job. And really just kudos to the entire defensive staff, but also Dan Quinn. I mean, think about us talking about this team now and how we were talking about this team last year.
Yeah.
And I felt like last year we were kind of lying to ourselves a little bit, but now there's like genuine things on the field. Like when I pull clips for Coach's show, when I pull clips for the Command Center show, I'm like, man, these are good football plays.
You know, too, man, it's like one of the things about having your leader identity. Like the way Dan Quinn talks.
Yeah.
That's the way the team is playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're playing to the beat of his drum.
Yep.
And you can see it. We saw it in Dallas. We saw it when he was in Seattle. You play under him. Yeah. You saw it in Atlanta. Like that's what I'm seeing. And it's early now. We haven't found ourselves yet. We still trying to be that team.
Yeah.
But you can see it forming. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And that's why I was saying, like every week I want to see a good product. You know, may the best team win. Yeah. But if you show me that I'm competitive and I'm out here fighting for it, like you said, every blade of glass, bro, I can win with that. I would take that home and sleep easy than saying, man, we just went out there and played and didn't know what we was doing.
Right. Cut to the manure. All right. From the time Dan Quinn and got here, it feels great to walk in this building. It's a different aura. It's a different cloud.
It is.
It's a different leadership.
It is.
The one thing about leadership is good leadership make other people want to follow you. Like, ain't gonna be none of that other stuff. No, Dan Quinn established an environment of everybody hold everybody accountable.
You can have all the ability in the world. I've been around a lot of players where you've been on this organization where you get all the guys with the abilities.
Yeah.
Prime was here. You know, LeVar Arrington was here.
Champ Bailey, Dale Green.
You can have all that in one room. But if we not coached to go out there and be on the same
accord, don't matter.
It don't matter.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned Dan. I mean, they made the decision to go out there early, get those guys situated, get them settled in. That is a good football decision.
Yeah. Kudos to ownership.
I was going to say, football decisions always haven't been supported here.
Yeah.
And that is really cool to see the ownership group supporting football people making football decisions and kind of being like, we want to win games. And so if for people that I bump into people at the supermarket and they're like, Logan, it's the same. And I don't know what they're watching exactly, but it's these things would not have happened.
No.
And it's not the same.
Nothing is the same.
Just tell them, I'm going to give you the old B. Mitch.
Oh,
you know what that is.
This finna go down here.
Finger salute.
Dude, B. Mitch would fight them right there in the store.
I always tell them, let grandma cook.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient. Like everybody want this thing to just flipped in. And for a little bit, we have kind of flipped it so quick.
Yeah.
Like, maybe expectations are different.
Yeah.
But I tell them all the time, man, it's nothing about this organization.
But see, the thing about it coming to this year, I told you before, I didn't have high expectations. Yeah. And I think still when you watch the product so far in 4 weeks, I still don't put those high expectations on this team because like I understand what it takes to be a team.
To keep this up going.
You know what I mean? Look, you can taste a little bit of success. But how can you handle it now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You won the first quarter of the season. Can you win the second?
And hold on. And let's just go back. Jason, you have to bring this up. You remember before the season started, we had that list of teams.
Yeah.
I think I'm on there saying don't be surprised if we was 3-1.
Are you?
I think I'm on there. So
Jason, we got that somewhere?
You got to dig that list up.
I know that's more work for you, Jason.
Because I was like, they ain't gonna know what we gonna run on offense for the first 8 weeks. You remember I said that?
I didn't give us that whole Big 10 game thing, but I said I won't be surprised in that first 4. It was 3-1. So I want Jason to go and pull that up. And see
I want to pat my own back on that one because I think I said.
Yeah, go sift through how many hours of podcasts and find that sucker. I don't even know.
It was right before the season. We had just got our schedule. It just got our schedule.
Yeah.
And we was talking about
good luck.
Where do you see us going?
All right. Intern Caroline, thank you in advance. So, really excited. But like Tana was saying, in the NFL is a week-to-week thing.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And we got the Cleveland Browns coming to town.
Oh, yes, sir.
And this is just a little note, and take it for what you want. But 3 of the 4 teams we just played they're the 3 worst defenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that, again, through a small sample size, obviously the Commanders getting after them a little bit is going to weigh them down a little bit. But when you watch Cleveland on defense,
they are legit as they get.
It's a different animal than what we've seen. So one of the things that's kind of I'd say described the Giants, it's described Cincinnati, it's described Arizona, is they can't rush the passer very well.
The Giants have 13 sacks so far.
But it's
leading the league.
But you know how many pressures and hurries that this team has through 4 games?
Tell me.
They have 40. So they're getting 10 hits on a quarterback a game.
Yeah.
Okay? So again, I'm not saying the Giants are great. This is a different tier.
It's a different animal.
Yes, different animal. And so, Myles Garrett, obviously.
I'm chipping him every play.
I am running at him on first and second down.
I won't run that. He the green mile. You think I want to run at him? I'm chipping him.
I'm going to run at Big John. That was his name on the I'm running at Big John so I can tire him out for the passing down. I'm running at him. I'm screening at him. I want him doing this the whole game. And they got second level help. They got great linebackers also. They got 2 great corners. So this is going to be one of those games. This is going to be the test for Jayden. Right? I think that Tampa Bay defense, very good defense. But this defense right here, player for player, they're going to say, we're going to try to match up with you. And they're going to try to send heat.
They got to.
They ain't going to do what the other team did and say, we got to play zone because they're a running quarterback. They're going to try to send some heat.
Yeah, they've got some really good pass rushers. Obviously, Myles Garrett headlines that group, but Zadarius Smith is a really nice movable chess piece. Alex Wright, a kid they drafted out of UAB maybe last year, 2 years ago. He's kind of an inside-outside pass rusher. Obo Okonkwo, excuse me. I said that one right. So
did you? I'm going to have to fact check you.
Fact check me. Good pass rusher. They got a nice little stable of guys there. They also have Dalvin Tomlinson, who is a really good run-stopping 3
big boy in the middle.
Yeah, so they've got some pieces. And then you mentioned the linebackers. They're very talented.
Wusu Kamara?
Yep. Jeremiah Owusu Koromora. Yep. This guy's trying to mess me up on my pronunciations. They play fast. They play physical. They blitz. They're aggressive. They play a lot of man coverage. And I will say this. They are the third They have the third highest explosive passes against. So because they're playing all that man, they'll lose guys sometimes. And if the pressure doesn't get home, there are big plays to be had. So you mentioned the corners. There are advantages and matchups there. But I really think the main thing you got to do is manage the pass rush. I think Fred hit the nail on the head there. How does Cliff call the game? Because you can, again, slow Myles Garrett down with some quick game. Jayden's excellent at that. RPOs.
Screens.
Zone reads. Let's read that guy's screens. And then play action pass. Let's move the pocket. Everything Cliff's done over the last 2 weeks is applicable here. And I also think the important thing to remember is the Cleveland offense has struggled pretty dramatically. So you don't need to score 50 points. You could probably get away with 24 points in this game winning. So managing that, I think, is also going to be an important factor in terms of game.
Yeah, most definitely, especially with the L's they having on the offense, like you said. Watson not in his bag yet. I seen him arguing on the field with his offensive lineman. There's something going on there. I think that's the reason I say we got to jump out fast. If we jump out fast and now they had to fight back, that ain't what they're good at. They're averaging, 16 points a game.
Yeah.
So if you jump out there fast on them, and I know they got Jerry Jeudy, I know they got wide receivers out there, but it's an offense that can be stopped. Jerome Ford is the running back. I think the tight end comes back this week.
Yeah.
So, they got pieces now. Yeah. Good team.
I mean, they have pieces, and then I think, what we've shown that we can play complementary football. We're sound in both phases. So I think we just got to go out there with that same game plan. Now, will Cliff had to switch some things up because of some of the talent they have? Yes.
Yeah, no wrong with it.
But I think when you haven't seen much of what we got, because everything is still new. You know what I mean? That was just one quarter of football.
We still in install mode.
You know what I mean? When you haven't seen it, I'm sure they sitting up there right now pulling hairs already like, hey, we got to stop so much because this kid can run the ball and this kid can do the ultimate.
But see, can he run them out of man?
Yeah.
That's going to be the question. Can he run them out of man?
That would be wild because, Arizona did change. They were a pretty aggressive blitzing team on third down. And again, this is maybe the most important thing in this game is one of the things sacks gives you is it gives you negative plays and it gives you poor down and distance, right? Yeah. So 2nd and 12, 3rd and 13, and that's where teams get crazy exotic. Yeah. If Jayden can continue making good decisions like we talked about and keep you in a manageable down and distance.
Stay ahead of the chains.
And then and I would expect an adjustment from them a little bit, especially if you're in those shorter down and distances because Arizona, they pressure a lot on third down. Yeah. They didn't as much because of what he can do. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what adaptation they make. If I'm them, I'm just like, we're going to heat him up, see if you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Like you have
by the sword.
Think about the toughest game he had this year was versus Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
What does Todd Bowles do?
Set him on fire.
Let's set a couple fastballs, see if you handle it. Yeah. See if you can get us out of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I would expect from them early on, especially with the pass rush they got.
And I could just be sure that I know Cliff probably having that in the back of his head that this is what teams are going to do because knowing that he's a young guy, knowing that we struggle with this week one, have those plays and sit right there in his pocket saying, well, I'm gonna slip screen him to sleep.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna blitz him, I'm getting rid of it right now. Mm-hmm. And now you gotta play to our beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not gonna allow you to come in here and dictate things.
Our offense gonna dictate things. And getting Eckler back this week, that'll be a good help.
And I do think that Jayden, we talked about this at the top of the show, how much he's matured.
Yeah.
I think it's not gonna, even if they do bring pressure, I think he'll be able to keep some level of composure, but much better defense. Let's talk about their offense real quick. Deshaun Watson obviously struggling. Your guy Ken Dorsey. Did you play with Ken Dorsey?
Yeah.
Ken?
So my quarterback. Dorsey's my quarterback.
So they lead the NFL in passing attempts.
But they stink at passes.
So the thing is, when I got to play with Deshaun Watson when he was in Houston, he was at that time, which was 2019, was maybe the most impressive quarterback I've been around. Forget about what he's doing off the field, on the field only. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And one of the things he was excellent at was extending plays and taking shots down the field.
Yep.
This offense requires him to be extremely fastidious.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like they're running.
Please tell me what you mean by that.
Sorry, fastidious means like diligent, very kind of deliberate.
All right.
Not playing within structure quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so they get an empty a lot and they run a lot of quick game. So when you're running quick game, you got to be on time. You got to be in rhythm. That's not what he is.
Yeah.
And so they really struggle. And then their vertical pass game, their 5-step passing game is all predicated off the quick game, which they're not good at.
Yeah.
So it gets a little sluggish, a little bit.
And a lot of missed opportunities. You got to realize that Amari Cooper is leading the league in drops with 6.
Yeah, he has dropped a lot of balls.
Has 2. So it's some missed opportunities in there while they trying to push the ball down the field. They had a 70-yarder call back last week for somebody holding on the offensive line. So even that offensive line that dominated the league last year is kind of deteriorating in front of our eyes.
I was going to say, I'm just looking at
because they're missing the run game. Chubb hasn't been back there.
Yeah.
And that's
he starts practicing this week.
Those are some of the things that will slow a lot of that stuff down. You know what I mean? I mean, you're thinking about it. Amari Cooper with 6 drops. Yeah. He's been for show hands since he's been in the league. So that goes to show you the frustration that has built up in his offense because of things not clicking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got the receivers thinking too much, dropping balls. You got the linemen doing dumb stuff, bringing plays back. So when you see corruption like that and you see players game, diminishing a little bit, to say the least, that's because it's a lot of confusion going on, and these guys are not, on one accord.
Yeah, and and he's got, Deshaun has this kind of long
gated throwing motion.
Yeah, and it really does not suit itself to quick game, and I really feel like Dorsey's trying to fit a square peg into a round hole when I'm watching. And again, you mentioned the offensive line, Fred, they've got DeJuan Jones, who was one of the better tackles in football last year, but he's struggling now because they're dropping back every single play, right? And they're asking him to block in space. Zeitler is how you say his name. Zeitler. He's a rookie guard. He's a worst grade offensive lineman. All these guys that played well last year, none of them are above 50% on the offensive line. And they were all in the 70s last year.
Yeah.
They are, last year's team here in Washington, that is what they're doing there.
Yeah.
They've leveraged them too much. They put too much on them from a protection standpoint. They're struggle busting. They are still capable of explosive plays, but they just haven't quite figured it out. Yep. So for me, I look at defensively and offensively, we talked about we got to do slip screens, but defensively, like, what's the key?
Make them one-dimensional. You just said they're a terrible throwing team that likes to throw. Make them throw.
So let them keep throwing.
So let them throw.
Let them do what they do best.
Let them throw the ball,
so
and maybe we get our first interception of the year.
Yeah.
Let them throw the ball, and maybe Deshaun Watson to give us this game with turnovers, fumbles, misplays. Let them throw the ball so Deron Payne, Armstrong, the rest of them guys can get their pass rush going. Stop them early on first down.
Yeah.
Make them second and long, and make them throw the ball. And guess what? The offense can help their defense by starting fast, getting 10 points, and now they forced to throw the ball anyway.
Let Watson be Watson. I think one of the things that Watson did best is the ab-living part of it and taking those shots downfield. Put the pressure on him. You know what I mean? See if he's gonna see how rattled is he right now. You know what I mean? It's something going on there. You know, I don't know if it's just from the time off.
It's the brother love aspect. The one thing about quarterbacks, they are loved from the time we in junior high school.
I thought to my other brother.
No, not that brother. No, they love since we in high school.
Yeah, it messed me up. But they said brother love. Like, hold on, what's going on with this?
No, they are loved since we've been in high school. Yeah. They always that figurehead, and for the first time, we got a quarterback that's paid generationally, that's hated.
Yeah,
and he don't know how to. I think he don't know how to play through it. Yeah. Like a cornerback, we hate it all the time. We have to play through these situations. Quarterback's not so much. I think mentally he's beat up.
Yeah. And definitely a different Cleveland team than they've been. Like, they were a team that's built around running the football, play action pass. They just haven't been that. And so I think to your point, Fred, like, let them throw the football. Let's play good coverage.
Throw it.
And, like, they have some playmakers, but the guy back there
that matters
is not overly comfortable. The offensive line is not overly comfortable. So, like, John, Duran, you're going against a rookie. Let's beat that guy up a little bit. Yeah. Let's rush the edge here. Let's create some pressure. Let's get him uncomfortable. And I think you can win this football game because, you know, unlike Washington, they are also in a ton of third and long situations because they have an incomplete pass on first down. They try to do a draw run that loses 2, and all of a sudden they're in 3rd and 13.
Seeing what Lawrence did, our defensive end did this week against Big Paris. Was he going to get him?
No, Kelvin Beachum.
Beachum. I want him against Thanos. Yeah. I want to line him up and say, let him wrestle, but whip his head for 4 quarters.
Yeah. All right. So, we're really excited. I think it'll be a really interesting test for the offense. I think the defense, it feels like they could keep some of this momentum versus this Cleveland offense. But that leads us very nicely into our next segment, which is hell yeah or
hell no.
Hell no. All right, let's start with the first one. All right, Jayden Daniels will have 3 TDs in this home game versus Cleveland.
Hell
yes.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Because he could either run for 2 and throw 1, or he could throw 2 and run 1, or he could throw 3.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns for him right now. I know this is a good defense. So I feel like we're gonna have some long drives. So we're gonna mess around and be like a 3rd and goal at the 4.
Yeah, and he'll get
this prime Daniels time right there. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think they're cooking, man. I'm gonna say hell yeah.
Yeah, with fish grease.
Hell yeah. All right. Myles Garrett will not have a sack. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell no.
Come on, man. Do you think he's going to have a sack?
No, I'm saying, you saying.
I think he is. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's really weird. Myles Garrett will not have a sack.
So I should say hell no.
So hell no. That's what I'm saying.
Like, he probably gonna get a sack.
That's why I said hell no.
Like, come on, man.
That's why I said hell no.
Do a nose make boogers? Yeah. He gonna get a sack.
But I mean, like,
he finds his way around the guy. Man.
But and again, different defenses, different pass rushes.
Even the garbage get a steak, and he ain't garbage. Yeah. So he gonna get his.
But that's okay though.
Yeah. It's okay for him to get his.
Ain't nobody say if he get 2 sacks we gonna lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So hell yeah. Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. I'll go hell no too. I think watching him, man.
Yeah.
He's impressive, dude.
Green Mile.
His specimen.
He's impressive. And
John Coffey.
Oh, John.
But if we run the ball a little bit, quick game, I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna say hell no. I don't think he gets a sack.
Oh, all right.
I think we'll switch it up.
We'll see next week.
Yeah, we'll check the receipts. Yeah. All right. Ryan Robinson will score his first home rushing touchdown.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. This is the year of breaking all negative trends. Yep. All negative trends will be broken. Brian Robinson scores his first home touchdown this year.
This one was wild to me.
I'm pretty sure that they know this by now. Somebody got to know this on our staff. Yeah. Like someone has to know this is what's going on.
Probably running back coach Vans and say, you know what, you ain't never scored at home.
And guess what they gonna say? You gonna get 3 of them. First time scoring at home, we gonna get you 3.
Yeah, let's go.
And they gonna help my fantasy.
Yeah, 10 TDs all on the road.
Yeah,
that's wild.
That means he does well when everything is against him, back against the wall.
But I mean, also it just speaks to kind of how weird the offense was.
Well, we wasn't running the ball.
I've been saying we didn't run the ball but 3 times last year. He ran it 2 times.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say hell yeah. That seems like something, especially with how committed Cliff's been to it. They're going to get that taken care of. All right, this is maybe my favorite hell yeah, hell not question of the day. The fans will be the difference maker at it's not FedEx, Jason.
It's the Fed.
It is
the Fed house is what I call it. The Fed house.
It is Northwest.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
The fans, I watched them take over Tampa.
Oh my God.
I watched them take over Arizona.
Dude, that was cool in Arizona.
That's what I'm telling you. So in this house, I'm looking for it to erupt.
All I have to say is you should have been there, Fred. You wasn't there, but you saw it from TV. I
see y'all smiling while y'all be on the road.
I'm just talking about the fans.
Yeah,
we did our podcast, the Command Center podcast. I guess you could say Game Day Live podcast.
Before,
whatever.
Right?
Yeah, Saturday night.
That looks crazy.
At one of the rallies, it was 500 Commanders fans in this restaurant.
Yeah,
backyard called Backyard. They took over the town, and now you might thought that was a sight.
Yeah.
The next day at that stadium, I'm pretty sure you saw it, bro. On our sideline, all you saw was Commanders.
No, I saw video, fan video of them showing we done took over your house.
I thought it was most of them that just traveled. There's a lot of fans up there.
No, watch the fans everywhere.
In Arizona,
it's everywhere.
It's a lot of them in Arizona. I met so many Native Americans, Navajo, Cherokee. I showed the guy my mural on my leg. I told him that my folks are Cherokee. Yeah. And like they was just talking about the name, about how much, they wish that we can go back. And I'm like, hey, we gotta live in the now. Yeah. But it was just great. And they was from Arizona. They were based in Arizona. Yep. Yes. It was just great to see them there, man. So yeah, hell yeah. The fans gonna
hell yeah. And hopefully they come out and this thing's because again, man, you're gonna get to see something special. Yeah. It feels like something special's happening.
I think every week with Jayden, man, he has that effect too. I mean, he's shown right now that hey, he must see TV.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's gonna do it for today's show. Also, we got some news, Fred.
I love news.
Yeah.
As long as it's good.
People's Choice Podcast Awards. Mm-hmm. We didn't win it.
We didn't win it.
But
I would cry, but my tear ducts not working.
But I will say you fans really helped us out.
Yeah, I did.
And really got us to a really special place with this podcast. We were the first team podcast to ever be nominated for this award.
Yeah, so we almost won it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of special things associated with this, and you guys really made that happen.
Thank you so much.
This is a moral victory that I would take.
Yeah. Because Tan doesn't like moral victories, but he likes this one.
I take this.
So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate the support. Please make sure you like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like more content like this, make sure you check out all the other Command podcasts, the Commanders podcasts we have. And I think that's going to do it for you.
Great show, fellas.
That's it.